Okay, moving on, I'm going to show a couple different ways how you can use content aware tools to edit out other things. So, um, you know, using the spot healing brush is great, and I can easily eliminate, something like this blue sprinkle. But for this purpose, I'm going to actually introduce the content aware um, fill. So I'm going to take my lasso tool, quick key is L, and I'm just going to kind of manually draw a little lasso around these sprinkles down here. Again, I am already on a copy of my original layer, so anything I do that's destructive is okay because I still have that original layer underneath. So once I have these, once I have these sprinkles down here selected, what I'm going to do is go to Edit, Content Aware Fill, and then it's going to launch this this big dialog box. Use the sampling brush tool to add sampling area. I'm gonna hit OK. Normally though, what it is I'm gonna just kind of zoom out of this for a second. But normally the default on this is auto. So again, I'm just gonna zoom out, and you can see this area here, and even it's kind of let me see if I can. It's kind of tough with this window like this, but you can see that with auto, it kind of these green areas are where it's sampling from, right? Now, if you do custom, you can kind of paint in your own green areas, because I don't really, it's actually doing a pretty good job of removing this stuff, but because I don't want any other things like sprinkles kind of filling that space. If I wanted to do a custom one, it pops up this warning basically that says use the sampling brush tool. So I can click don't show again, but that's okay. And basically you can see over here on the left, I have my little brush with the crosshair, and then if I sample only areas that don't have these sprinkles, it kind of makes it safer so that it's only going to fill in with stuff that isn't sprinkles. So I'm going to hit OK. Well, before I hit OK, I'm just going to show you some of the options in here. So again, because I'm already doing this on that layer that has some destructive editing on it, I could just output to current layer, and that will just do it to that layer. But another non-destructive way to use this is to output to a new layer. So what that's going to do is it creates this little patch, and it's just going to add it as a new layer above. So you can see I have this new layer. Command D, I'm going to deselect that selection I had, but I have this new layer here, and when I turn that on and off, you can see the blue and white sprinkles revealed. Okay, so again, that's the most basic introduction to these tools. And there's some other tools we can use too. I'm just going to use one of the other tools, which is the patch tool. Now again, all of these tools, the clone tool, the spot healing brush tool, the content aware fill, and then the patch tool, you can use all these kind of tools to edit out certain things, and I'll show you some different uses as we go along today. But I'm going to bring back that selection by holding command and clicking on that layer that I have hidden, which just created that content aware fill. But I'm going to use that again just so I can show you the patch tool. I'm going to click back on the layer that we were doing those destructive edits to, and again, J is where the patch tool is, but I have to hold shift and toggle to it a couple times till I get this little patch icon. And the way this works is, I could actually deselect, and then you can create your own selection with it, and I'll show you that in a second. But when I have this patch tool, if I click within this selection area and then just drag to another area, it kind of samples from that area. It could be something like this, but it samples from that area and then kind of fills in what it needs to fill in to be like kind of a natural looking content aware edit to that. So you know, again, I'll just hide this layer so you can see underneath, but it really is great, and all these tools are very great. But I will continue on in the next video and kind of go into more depth, but that's the basic introduction to all these tools, and we will get a little more advanced as we go on. Thank you.